This 200-year-old Japanese parsley secret is something you don't want to miss. Wrinkles after 60 do not simply appear. They show up when aging skin no longer receives the support it needs to repair itself. Hydration declines, collagen production slows, and without steady nourishment, even the most expensive treatments fall short. Some time ago, we explored a powerful banana-based skin ritual, and the response from you was overwhelming. So today, Japan's oldest practicing doctor returns with something even more traditional, a remedy preserved across centuries, one humble ingredient, and a secret method that has helped Japanese seniors soften fine lines, even skin tone, and support elasticity, without harsh chemicals or invasive procedures. So welcome back to a new Christmas special of the Senior Health Podcast. In this episode, Japan's oldest doctor will explain how to prepare and use this 200-year-old parsley-based skin remedy, and why what's already in your kitchen may help support brighter, firmer skin. Doctor, are you excited for this episode?
I've been wanting to share this, John, because skin is not just about appearance. It's one of the clearest reflections of how well the body is still renewing itself. And when the skin starts to wrinkle, tighten, or lose vitality, that's often the body asking for a little more support.
That really changes how we think about aging skin. Most seniors are taught to see skincare as something cosmetic, like creams, masks, or an occasional spa visit. But you are saying the skin is communicating something deeper, right?
Exactly. After 60, skin does not simply wrinkle. It becomes more fragile. It holds less water, loses elasticity, and struggles to rebuild its protective structure. But that is not the end of the story, because that process can be slowed, and in many cases reversed. And that is where today's ritual fits in.
I cannot wait to hear this, doctor.
Let's dive in then. We will be using parsley to guide seniors through a simple 4-step ritual that hydrates, firms, brightens, and reawakens aging skin.
That really resonates, because seniors are often surprised by how gentle traditions can still be so effective. And as always, if you let us know in the comments that you stayed with us through the full episode, we'd be happy to share the complete step-by-step recipe so you can try it at home.
Of course, John. Those traditions endure because they work quietly and consistently. In Japanese medicine, we look for plants that can support circulation, hydration, and cellular repair at the same time. When an ingredient does all three without stress, the skin recognizes it almost immediately.
That explains why these remedies feel calming rather than harsh. Seniors often tell me their skin reacts badly to aggressive products, even ones labeled as natural.
Yes, and that reaction is important to listen to. Aging skin becomes more sensitive because its protective barrier thins and its recovery time slows. When we overwhelm it, we create more damage instead of repair.
So the goal is not stimulation for its own sake, but cooperation with the skin's changing needs.
Exactly, and cooperation begins with familiarity. Ingredients the body has recognized for generations tend to restore trust at the cellular level. That trust allows the skin to soften, hold moisture, and regain resilience gradually.
That makes this feel less like treatment and more like care.
And care is powerful medicine. When seniors approach skin health with patience and respect, the body often responds more generously than expected. This is especially true when circulation and nutrient delivery are gently encouraged, and today's parsley recipe is perfect for that.
It sounds like parsley works on multiple levels at once.
It does, and that is why it has remained quietly present in Japanese households for centuries. It supports blood flow to the skin, delivers antioxidants, and helps the skin remember how to renew itself. But its role goes deeper than most seniors realize.
That pause alone makes me curious, because it feels like there is more beneath the surface. How does parsley actually communicate with aging skin, and what makes it so different from everything seniors have already tried?
It communicates through circulation and antioxidants, sending calm signals instead of aggressive commands. Unlike many products seniors try, it works with the skin's natural rhythm rather than trying to override it.
That really reframes it for me, because so much skincare feels like it is trying to force change. Seniors often tell me their skin feels stressed after trying something new.
Yes, and that stress is the difference. Parsley delivers vitamin C and flavonoids in a form the skin recognizes, which helps support collagen pathways without irritation. It also improves microcirculation, so nutrients arrive where they are needed instead of sitting on the surface.
That makes it sound less like treatment and more like a conversation with the skin.
That is exactly right. Aging skin responds best to cooperation, not pressure. When the skin feels safe, it begins to soften, hold moisture, and repair more efficiently over time.
I hear that a lot in seniors who say their skin feels calmer with simpler routines.
And calm skin is resilient skin. Parsley helps reduce low-grade inflammation that quietly accelerates wrinkles, while also supporting detox pathways through the skin. These changes are subtle at first, but they build steadily with consistency.
That steady progress feels more realistic and encouraging for long-term care.
And here is where intention meets practice. The way parsley is prepared determines how well those signals reach the skin. A rushed method dulls its effect, while a careful one unlocks its full potential.
That makes me want to understand the preparation, especially for seniors who value simplicity. How do you recommend they begin preparing parsley so it truly becomes something the skin can absorb and respond to?
Simplicity is essential here. You do not need complicated steps for the skin to benefit. The process begins by gently washing fresh parsley to remove residue, then slowly extracting its essence with warm water, not boiling, so its nutrients remain intact. This creates an infusion the skin can actually recognize and absorb.
That already feels approachable, especially for seniors who feel overwhelmed by long routines. It sounds more like a quiet kitchen moment than a treatment.
Yes, and that calm matters. Letting the parsley steep slowly allows antioxidants and circulation-supporting compounds to release without damage. When the liquid deepens in color, that is a sign the infusion is ready to cool and rest, just like the skin itself needs time to rest.
That imagery really helps, because it turns preparation into something mindful, not rushed.
And mindfulness improves results. When you slow down during preparation, you preserve the parsley's gentle strength. This infusion becomes the foundation, carrying nourishment into the skin instead of sitting on top of it.
That foundation sounds like the missing step many seniors have never been taught.
Once the infusion is complete, it opens the door to something more supportive. This is where texture and structure begin to matter, and where the ritual deepens.
That makes me curious about how this liquid turns into something the skin can hold on to. What is next step to transform this infusion into a form that supports aging skin more deeply?
The infusion becomes supportive when we gently thicken it, so it does not evaporate or disappear on contact. This is done by slowly introducing a small amount of natural starch while warming the liquid just enough to change its texture. The result is not heavy, but comforting, like the skin finally has something to lean on.
That idea of giving the skin something to lean on feels important for seniors.
Yes, and the warming matters as much as the ingredient. Gentle heat activates the starch without damaging the parsley's compounds. As the mixture thickens, it creates a soft structure that allows nutrients to rest on the skin long enough to be absorbed.
I hear that a lot in seniors who say products feel nice at first, then vanish. It sounds like this step is what keeps the nourishment present.
Exactly. Presence is the goal. Aging skin loses its ability to hold onto moisture and support. This texture compensates for that loss without forcing anything. It gives the skin time, and time is often what seniors have been missing.
That reframes cream as something functional, not just cosmetic. It also explains why thinner products rarely help seniors long term.
Yes, and this is where we protect what we've created. Once the base has structure, we add a small amount of vitamin E oil. This step is not about thickness, but preservation. Vitamin E helps stabilize the cream and protects the skin from oxidative stress that accelerates wrinkles.
That makes sense, because seniors often hear about vitamin E but rarely understand why it matters.
Exactly. Vitamin E supports the skin's repair process and helps prevent moisture from escaping once it's been restored. It also calms microdamage from daily exposure, which is especially important for aging skin.
That addition makes the ritual feel more complete, like it's sealing in the work we've already done.
Yes, and sealing is the right word. Without this step, nourishment can fade too quickly. With it, the skin stays supported longer, which is when real comfort begins to take hold.
That makes me curious about how we take this comforting base and help the skin regain flexibility. What is the next addition that helps aging skin move and stretch more easily again?
Once the base is prepared, we introduce a nourishing oil that the skin can move with, not resist. In this ritual, sweet almond oil is used because it closely resembles the skin's natural lipids. It helps aging skin stretch, soften, and regain flexibility without heaviness.
That makes sense because seniors often say their skin feels stiff, not just dry.
Yes, and stiffness is a sign of lost elasticity. Almond oil delivers essential fatty acids that help reinforce the skin barrier while allowing it to remain supple. It does not sit on top of the skin. It integrates, which is why seniors often feel relief almost immediately.
I hear that a lot in seniors who stop using oils because they feel greasy or clogged. This sounds different.
It is different when used with intention. The oil is added slowly, mixed gently into the base, so it becomes part of the structure, not a separate layer. This allows the cream to move with facial expressions instead of cracking or pulling.
That idea of movement feels important, especially for areas like around the eyes and mouth.
Exactly. Aging skin still moves all day long, but it lacks lubrication. When flexibility is restored, fine lines soften because the skin is no longer strained. Over time, this also helps reduce that tight feeling seniors often describe at the end of the day.
That explains why some seniors say their wrinkles look deeper when their skin feels tired.
Yes, fatigue shows in the skin first. Almond oil also carries vitamin E, which supports repair from daily environmental stress. It quietly protects while allowing the skin to breathe, which is essential for long-term resilience.
That balance between protection and breathability feels like the sweet spot.
It is, and this is where confidence begins to return. When the skin feels comfortable again, seniors stop bracing their faces against dryness. That comfort prepares the skin for something equally important, something calming that brings everything into harmony.
I can feel the progression building, and it feels thoughtful rather than rushed. What is the next step that helps the skin settle and restore itself more deeply after this added flexibility?
Yes, and this is where aloe quietly does its work. After flexibility returns, the skin needs reassurance, something that tells it to slow down and repair. Aloe provides that message through hydration, antioxidants, and gentle anti-inflammatory support that aging skin responds to immediately.
That makes sense because many seniors say their skin looks better but still feels reactive.
Exactly. Aloe helps the skin settle after stimulation, much like rest after movement. It supports the moisture barrier and reduces microscopic irritation that can prevent true repair from happening.
I hear that a lot in seniors who feel their skin never fully calms down anymore. They describe a kind of low-level discomfort they cannot name.
Yes, and aloe addresses that quietly. It delivers water deep into the skin while also protecting cells from oxidative stress. Over time, this allows the skin to rebuild its strength instead of constantly defending itself.
That sounds like a shift from constant correction to true recovery.
It is, and recovery is essential after 60. Aloe contains compounds that support collagen organization and cellular turnover without forcing speed. This helps the skin regain a sense of balance rather than chasing quick results.
That balance feels especially important for seniors who want results without irritation.
And balance brings confidence. When the skin feels calm, seniors stop bracing for reactions. Aloe also improves absorption of everything added before it, so the nourishment works more efficiently.
So aloe is not just calming, it is helping the whole ritual work better together.
Yes, it becomes the bridge between nourishment and renewal. Once the skin is calm, it can accept care more deeply. That is when timing and method start to matter just as much as ingredients.
That makes me slow down just listening to you. It feels like the ritual itself is teaching patience. How do you suggest seniors apply this cream so the skin receives that calm rather than being rushed or overstimulated?
Applying step is where the ritual truly becomes medicine. Seniors should begin with clean, slightly damp skin, applying the cream slowly with the pads of the fingers rather than rubbing. Gentle upward motions and soft pauses allow the skin to receive nourishment instead of feeling rushed.
That feels very different from how most seniors are taught to apply products. It sounds less like routine and more like care.
Yes, and care changes outcomes. Applying the cream in the evening works best when the skin's repair processes naturally slow and deepen. Giving the skin 20 to 30 minutes before rinsing allows absorption without overstimulation.
That timing alone could explain why so many seniors say products never seem to work for them.
Exactly. The skin needs time, not pressure. This cream can be used 3 times a week, allowing rest days in between, so the skin responds instead of rebelling. Overuse can be just as stressful as neglect.
That balance feels reassuring, especially for seniors worried about doing something wrong.
And reassurance matters. When seniors trust the rhythm, the skin often follows. Consistency without urgency helps restore confidence and comfort.
That idea of rhythm feels central to everything you are describing tonight.
Yes, and rhythm reveals results gently. After a few weeks, many seniors will begin to notice subtle shifts, not dramatic changes. Those shifts are signals that the skin is remembering how to function again.
That makes me curious about what seniors usually notice first, because those early signs can be motivating. What changes tend to show up before anything dramatic happens?
Most seniors notice comfort before appearance. The skin feels calmer, less tight in the evening, and more resilient in the morning, which is often the first sign that repair has quietly begun.
That's a perfect note to end on. If you are still listening, and you are excited to try this recipe yourself, let us know in the comments so we will send you the recipe. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, and watch this next video right now.
Yes, please.
We've picked this one especially for you.